My name is Patrick Polk, and I'm a recovering addict. No, I'm a recovered addict. And I want to tell you my testimony about methamphetamine. Now, it's a very demonic drug, very demonic. And I thought I would never get sober because I loved methamphetamine. It was my love. It was my love. Shut the fuck up. It was my love drug. I loved methamphetamine. I loved using it. I took it by injection, smoked it, everything you say. I mean, everything you can imagine. I've used the drug in the most, let's say, all the weirdest and worst ways I have used that drug. Now, started losing privacy in Mexico. One thing that, in the U.S., when meth was on the rise, still is. And, everybody started being homeless and shit like that. And I was like, fuck this shit. I need a place where I could jack off in peace. Because that's exactly what it does. It makes you jack off a lot. So, I moved to San Diego. I drifted from everywhere in California, hitchhike meth using, tweaking and hitchhiking and just drifting from everywhere I can imagine, living in all kinds of tents and shit like that. And I stumbled across San Diego, and lo and behold, there's one place next to San Diego that's like a drug haven. Damn right, Mexico. So I go to Mexico because I had a habit and I was a dope fiend. I ended up becoming the dope fiend of the millennium there. So basically, how can I say this? Start with my story. So yeah, Mexico, they got different strands of methamphetamine down there, like we got different strands of weed. So I was in heaven. So, rented a place down there and all that shit, with my government income at the time. And about 2 years in, the drugs started getting the best of me. I started being delusional. But I think actually I was really being fucked with. So, one time I'm in the bathroom and I'm trying to watch a porno and I'm trying to beat my meat. And I could hear somebody through the wall talking about, oh, shrimp dick motherfucker. And I'm like, fuck, somebody could see me. So I went out of my way the next day by taking my monthly pension or whatever I got from the government at the time to go and buy some tarp. That didn't work. And gluing it to the walls because I was convinced people could see me. So I ended up getting aluminum foil and putting that all over the walls, to create an EMF, electromagnetic interference, because, they could see you through walls with Wi-Fi. At least I read that. So that's where the paranoia and the trouble started. So then I lost one place down there, and I just took my money and I moved to another place. And here's what happened. Okay, I was saying once before, I am not a recovering addict. I am a recovered addict, fully recovered. But mind you, I never got tired of methamphetamine. Methamphetamine got tired of me. Really. To the point where I was using so much meth to where it's almost like the drug told me, you know what, you're cut off. You're prohibited from anytime you use me. It's going to be a negative experience, sort of like a really bad relationship. So I moved to Mexico. I'm using dope down there in every single way you can imagine. Shooting it, smoking it, booty bumping it. It didn't matter. Eating it. I know almost all the Border Patrol by name. They know me by name. But they would always get mad because I would set the dogs off when they were searching me. I go to secondary all the time. The dogs sniff me, and they're like, where's the dope? Honest to God, true story. No exaggerations in what I'm telling you. These are my trials and tribulations. But I used it all before I get to the border. My whole thing was, there's no point in bringing it across because I could use all I want with no problem over there and then cross the border if I needed to come over and steal something. That was what it was. But I'm very fortunate and very blessed that it came to an end. And I'll tell you that in a minute. So I moved to this other apartment, and they must have known what I was doing inside because I started getting real weird things happening, like people talking outside of my building, and you could hear them speaking in English, talking about taking a nigger out, right? And long story short, I cried in every single corner of my apartment, thinking I was gonna die. I thought they were gonna, dude, I'm telling you, man, people would come by the fucking, door and clack guns, and you hear them lock and load and click and shit, and laughing and shit like that. And I was like, fuck, these motherfuckers are gonna come in here and the cartel's gonna pack me out. And I think they must have knew what I was in there trying to do. Now, not victimize nobody. I'm always by myself, but I'm in there trying to watch a porno and jack off. And they must have known it and didn't like it. They even, on occasion, would send me a raggedy-ass prostitute, like, here, fuck her. But I wanted to be by myself. I didn't want to be around nobody. As long as I paid my rent, I felt I was liberated to do whatever I felt like doing. But that wasn't the case. You see, one thing I realized, thank God I was a black man going down there, because I don't think white people actually get the same love in Mexico or the same kind of pass. But see, for some reason, down in Tijuana, you don't really hear about brothers getting killed. Because it dawned on me and I realized they don't like to really kill black people down there, especially when we're hooked on dope. I noticed that the police don't really fuck with us, but they love to scare the shit out of black people because it makes them laugh. They always want to see what a nigga is gonna do when he's scared out of his damn mind, and it gives them a good laugh. Mexican people love laughing at shit. And unfortunately, or fortunately, it worked it worked for me in helping me stay alive. I always made these motherfuckers laugh and I didn't even know it. And they love to terrify the shit out of me because it always made them laugh, and I'll tell you exactly why. So I cried in every room, in every corner of this apartment thinking I was gonna die. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna go down like this. This ain't gonna happen to me like this. No, siree, I'm gonna fight back. So I grabbed a big thing of propane one night when the terrorizing started happening around, and rallying around my window, here laughing and gun clapping and shit like that. And I grabbed a propane tank, because that's what you use light the stove down there. You use a big propane, one of the big propane, barbecue propane tanks, and you connect it to your stove. It wasn't like, you pay for gas through a line down there and stuff like that. So I got the propane and I took my shirt and I wrapped the propane around, like made a strap and wrapped it around, and I turned that bitch on ultra fucking high. And I waited for them to come by the window again. And what I did was, first I took a stove burner and I chucked it out the window. And then I turned the gas on high and I blew out this huge ass flame. I thought I was gonna blow up, but I wasn't quite sure. It didn't really matter at that time. I turned the flame up super high and I took the lighter and I put it to the gas that was coming out, and it threw out a huge fireball, and it went right through the window and incinerated the curtains. And I hear in the background, whoa, and I see through the hole of the window and the smoke and the flames still on the edges of the burnt curtain. It's just a huge, giant hole. And I see a Mexican dude pop his head up, this dude named Chino. He's like, hey, fool. He appeared to have, how you say, like, not burn marks, but like, black shit all over his face, as if he was standing in front of the window in the first place. You know what I mean? And he's like, hey, calm down, fool. Hey, come smoke a blunt with us, dog. Real shit, I shit you not. I'm like, I am not coming out of that motherfucker alive. This is it. Lo and behold, thank God somebody called 911. The police came. I wasn't coming out of that motherfucker. I'm still strapped with the fucking propane tank, looking like Rambo. I put on the camouflage and everything. I swear to God, I tied something to my head. I don't know if it was a hairnet or something raggedy, piece of a pillowcase. And I was Rambo, though. I wasn't surrendering. And they're like, come out. Come the fuck out. Come here. Open the door. Whatever they were saying. Whatever, to the best English they can use. So, finally, I'm like, well, it's the police. Okay. I'm a surrender. So I come outside. They walk inside. What's going on? I'm like, I didn't want to be a snitch. So I'm like, hey, I just broke up with my lady. Put on the fake cry, whatever. They're like, oh, they see the window and the damage and everything like that. These motherfuckers just walked in, took the propane tank because it was probably worth about $60. It was a full tank. And that's how much they're worth down there. And took off the cuffs and said, go get some sleep. I didn't sleep. I'm hearing these motherfuckers rally around my door again. I didn't let no bitch in. There was a prostitute that showed up that wanted to fuck. And I didn't let her in. I'm like, I'm sorry. Maybe another day. Sorry, lady. I'm in there, paranoid as fuck. And I know they're gonna start clapping. So I had to think of something fast. So I went to the sink, and there was a metal sink, kitchen sink, the metal sink things, where you put the water in and it's metal, the double sink. I found a way to get that bitch out. And I took it over by the door. I unlocked the door, and I pulled it open as fast as I could, and I put the sink on my head, and I ran out of the apartment complex, through the parking lot, and up the street, zigzag, with a sink on my fucking head until I got to the casino. Somehow, I found a way to rip off a taxi driver and have him drive me straight to the border, jumped out that motherfucker, ran to the front of the line, and went to the bank to pull out some more money. Realized I had made a mistake because I had forgot my bag of dope. So I went back to Mexico, this time with $200. Maybe I might be able to bribe somebody or, pay off the connect or whatever to protect me. But I didn't go in that easy. I thought maybe that might be a fatal mistake and these motherfuckers might just kill me. So I stopped by the local hardware store, went to the local hardware store, bought some spray paint. Got a spray paint called Trooper. So what I ended up doing was I spray painted myself. By this time, it's like nightfall coming down, I went just right back. And I spray painted myself, super black. I found there was a raggedy ass blanket on the side somewhere by a fence. I opened that bitch up. I took the cotton. I was bald headed like I am now, and I put the cotton on my head. I always carried tools and always had a thing of super glue. This is no lie. Always carried super glue because you never know what's gonna happen. A cut, scrape, shit like that, tweaker shit. Had some super glue. I super glued the cotton to my head, spray painted myself super, super black. So I look like an old black dude, black as fuck, excuse me, and with white hair. And I went back to the same spot and I got some more dope. And did the same shit. I think I tried to pass myself off as like a relative. Did the same shit again. I did this shit for a whole month until they finally told me, look, man, you just gotta move. You're crazy. I got their respect, but they did not want me back there anymore, and they let me go. I'm gonna wrap this up, and you know what to do. I don't know about all the subscribing bullshit, but whatever, hit a like on my video, and I will definitely have more methamphetamine stories or crystal meth stories and down in Mexico. I have a lot more to share with you guys. So stay tapped in to my shit. Excuse my language. And let me know what you think about. These are real stories. I got a lot more that I think are funny. So, and I'm sober and strong now. Thank God, thanks to the Creator that I'm normal, I guess. All right.